Ladies and gentlemen, what sets apart those who thrive from those who crumble under pressure? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's mental resilience. Mentally strong people are not born with an unshakable mindset. They develop it step by step, choice by choice, and day by day. Today, I'm going to share 5 essential habits that mentally strong individuals follow. These habits aren't magical or exclusive to a select few. They are choices anyone can begin making right now. Mentally strong people don't play the blame game. They don't look at their situation and say, it's because of this, or it's because of them that I'm here. No. They take ownership of their lives. They recognize that even though they may not have control over everything that happens to them, they always have control over how they respond. They know that the power to shape their future is in their hands. Taking responsibility isn't always easy, but it's the only way to move forward and become who you're meant to be. We live in a world filled with distractions, excuses, and people who want to shift blame. It's easy to get caught up in that. Maybe your parents didn't support you enough. Maybe your boss is holding you back. Maybe life has been unfair. But mentally strong people understand something critical. Blame is a dead end. Pointing fingers at others or your past won't change the present, won't fix the issue, and won't help you move forward. Blame only keeps you stuck in place. Think about a time in your life when things didn't go as planned. Maybe you failed at something. Maybe you were hurt. Maybe the weight of the world felt like it was on your shoulders. It's easy to say it wasn't my fault, or if only things had been different, I'd be okay. But the truth is, the past is the past. What truly matters is how you respond to it now. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example, a name we all recognize. Oprah was born into poverty, endured unimaginable hardships as a child, and grew up in circumstances that many would say were impossible to overcome. Her story could have been one of victimhood. She could have let her circumstances define her future. She could have blamed her past, her environment, and the people who mistreated her. But she didn't. Instead, she took responsibility for her life, her thoughts, her actions, and most importantly, her future. Despite the world telling her she wouldn't make it, despite the odds being stacked against her, she chose to own her story. She didn't allow negativity, hardship, or her past to define her. She worked tirelessly and never let her circumstances dictate her dreams. And today, she's one of the most influential voices in the world. Taking responsibility doesn't mean ignoring struggles or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It means understanding that no matter how difficult things get, you have the ability to shape your own path. You can choose to take control, not as a victim, but as the creator of your own destiny. So let me ask you this. Are you blaming your circumstances for where you are in life? Are you letting your past, mistakes, or things beyond your control hold you back? Or are you choosing to take responsibility and own your choices? Mentally strong people don't wait for someone to rescue them. They don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect situation, or the perfect person to come along and fix things. They understand that the only person who can truly change their life is themselves. And yes, it's difficult sometimes. The hardest thing to do is look at your own life and say, this is on me. But that's where true power lies. When you stop blaming others and stop making excuses, you take control of your future. No, you can't control everything. Yes, life is unpredictable and sometimes unfair. But what matters most is how you choose to respond. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. So I ask again, what are you going to do about it? Will you continue allowing your past or your circumstances to dictate where you go? Or will you take responsibility for your life and rise above? Every day you wake up, you're given a new chance to take ownership, make better decisions, and steer your life in the direction you desire. It all starts with saying, I am responsible. I am in control. Taking responsibility isn't just about admitting mistakes. It's about having the strength to stand tall regardless of what life throws at you and saying, I own this. That's where your power lies. When you embrace this mindset, you can't help but grow. You're no longer waiting for someone else to solve your problems. You're facing them head on and doing the work to change your own life. Now let's talk about comfort. Everywhere you look, people are chasing comfort. The easy way out, the path of least resistance. Society tells us that we should seek pleasure, avoid pain, and find the most comfortable way to succeed. But let me tell you something. Growth does not happen in comfort. If you want to reach your full potential, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Mentally strong people know this. They embrace discomfort because they understand that's where true strength is built. Think about it. When was the last time you did something truly uncomfortable? Something that challenged you to your core, something that made you sweat, doubt yourself, or question whether you could handle it. It's easy to avoid hard work and discomfort, but every time you avoid discomfort, you're robbing yourself of growth. Growth doesn't come from staying in a safe, predictable bubble. It comes from pushing yourself beyond what you think you're capable of. Look at Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He wasn't always a legend. In high school, he didn't even make the varsity team. Can you imagine that? The same Michael Jordan who would go on to win 6 NBA championships, dominate the game, and become a global icon was once overlooked. Most people would have quit. Most would have let that rejection define them. But Jordan didn't. He took that setback and used it as motivation. He practiced tirelessly, pushing himself beyond his limits. He embraced the discomfort of failure and turned it into fuel. Jordan could have let his failure stop him. He could have let rejection convince him that he wasn't good enough, but he didn't. He pushed through the pain, the doubt, and the discomfort. And what happened? He became one of the greatest athletes in history. His journey proves that discomfort is where real growth happens. And the same principle applies to all of us. Every time you push yourself into discomfort, you unlock your next level. We all have the potential to achieve incredible things, but we'll never reach that potential if we keep running from discomfort. It's only by stepping into it that we discover our true strength. Yes, discomfort is challenging. It can feel like a weight we want to avoid, but discomfort is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It forces you to grow, to evolve, to become stronger. When you embrace discomfort, you stop fearing it and start seeing it as an opportunity. Take a moment and reflect on your own life. When was the last time you truly challenged yourself? That discomfort you felt, that was your moment of growth. Every time you choose to keep going despite the discomfort, you build resilience and mental toughness. Discomfort is inevitable. Life will always throw challenges your way. But in those moments, you have a choice. Shrink back or lean in. The next time you feel discomfort, remember, that's when your next level begins. That's where you find your strength, your resilience, and your true potential. So don't run from discomfort, step into it, embrace it, use it to propel yourself forward, because that's where you'll become truly unstoppable. Take that next step. Maybe it was a new job, a big presentation, or a major decision in your life. You felt the fear creeping in, telling you, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? But mentally strong people, they don't let fear decide their fate. They recognize that fear is just a part of the process. It's a reminder that they're stepping outside of their comfort zone and moving toward growth. Fear may be real, but it doesn't get to control them. They use it as motivation to push harder, to try harder, to do what they know they need to do regardless of how scary it feels. Now, let's talk about anger. Anger is another emotion that can take hold of you. It's natural to get angry when things don't go your way, when people wrong you, or when life feels unfair. But here's the difference between mentally strong people and the rest of the world. They don't let anger dictate their actions. They don't lash out or make impulsive decisions that they'll later regret. Instead, they respond with wisdom. They take a breath. They step back. They pause before they react. Nelson Mandela, a man who knew a thing or two about injustice and anger, is the perfect example For 27 years, he was in prison, separated from his family, isolated and humiliated. He could have let that anger consume him. He could have held on to resentment, bitterness, and hatred toward the people who had wronged him. And who could have blamed him? He had every reason to be angry. But he didn't let it control him. Instead, he chose to forgive. He chose to rise above his anger and use it as a stepping stone to something greater. Mandela knew that his anger would only serve to keep him locked in the past. It would keep him trapped in a cycle of pain and bitterness. So he decided to forgive, not for the people who had hurt him, but for himself. He understood that if he wanted to lead his country toward change, he couldn't let anger drive him. He had to master it. He had to move forward with wisdom, with grace, and with a vision for something better. And that's the key. Mentally strong people understand that emotions are powerful, but they don't have to control you. They're not saying they don't feel them. They're not pretending that fear, anger, or doubt don't exist. No, they feel those emotions, but they don't let them run the show. They don't let them dictate their actions or decisions. They choose to act in spite of them. Doubt can be one of the most insidious emotions we face. It creeps in quietly, whispering you're not enough. You're not capable. You can't do this. And if you listen to that voice, if you let that doubt settle in, it can take over. It can make you hesitate, second-guess yourself, and miss opportunities. But mentally strong people don't let doubt stop them. They feel it, they acknowledge it, but they don't let it control their future. Think about someone who's starting a new business or taking on a major challenge. They might feel that doubt. Maybe their idea isn't good enough. Maybe they'll fail. Maybe they'll disappoint everyone around them. But mentally strong people don't let that doubt take over. They press forward anyway. They use that doubt as fuel to prove to themselves that they can do it, that they're capable of more than they think. They understand that doubt is part of the process of growth. It's the moment before the breakthrough. It's the moment when you choose to believe in yourself, even when the world around you says you shouldn't. When you master your emotions, you're not ignoring them. You're not pretending they don't exist. What you're doing is choosing not to let them control you. You're choosing to be bigger than your fear, your anger, and your doubt. You're choosing to respond, not react. You're choosing to take control of your future instead of letting your emotions dictate the course of your life. So ask yourself this: when was the last time you let your emotions get the best of you? When was the last time you let fear, anger, or doubt stop you from doing something you knew you needed to do? We've all been there. We've all been in situations where we let our emotions take the wheel and we ended up going the wrong direction. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have the power to change. You have the power to master your emotions, to choose how you respond, and to take control of your actions. Mastering your emotions doesn't mean you don't feel them. It means you don't let them control you. It means you use them as a tool, not a weapon. And when you do that, when you learn to master your emotions, you'll find that your life opens up in ways you never thought possible. You'll move forward with confidence, you'll make better decisions, and you'll step into your future with strength and clarity, knowing that nothing, no fear, no anger, no doubt can hold you back. We spend so much time stressing over things we can't control. It's easy to get caught up in the things outside our reach. What other people think, the economy, the unexpected roadblocks life throws in our way. But here's the thing: mentally strong people don't waste their energy on the things they can't change. Instead, they focus on the things they can control. They focus on their actions, their attitude, and their effort. They understand that while the world may throw them curveballs, they can always decide how they respond. They choose to put their energy where it matters most, into the things they have the power to change. Think about your life for a moment. How much time have you spent worrying about things that are completely out of your control? The opinions of others, the things people have said about you, the challenges that feel like they're piling up against you. We all do it. It's natural to worry about the unknown, to fear what we can't predict or influence. But here's the truth. That worry, that fear, that energy you're pouring into things you have no power over, it's wasted. It's draining you, holding you back, keeping you stuck. Mentally strong people know that the best use of their energy is in the things they can control, and they refuse to waste a single ounce on the rest. This is the lesson. If something is out of your control, let it go. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it take up space in your mind or your heart. Redirect that energy. Put it toward what you can change, the things you have power over, your actions, your attitude, your effort. Those are the things that can move you forward. Those are the things that can create results. The rest, the things you can't control, are simply distractions. Well, the real test of character and willpower comes when life isn't smooth, when things aren't going your way, when you don't feel like getting out of bed. That's when consistency and discipline become your strongest weapons. Think about Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game. His success wasn't just because of natural ability. No, it came from an unshakable work ethic that would leave anyone in awe. While others were still asleep, Kobe was already in the gym honing his skills. I'm talking about 4 a.m. training sessions, countless hours of shooting, dribbling, running drills, and refining his craft. While others were resting, he was putting in the work. That's why he became one of the best. That's why his name is remembered in history. It wasn't random motivation here and there. It was discipline. It was consistency. Kobe understood that success is built on small efforts repeated day after day, even when no one is around to see them. We all want success. We all want to excel in something, our careers, skills, or personal goals. We crave results. But the truth is, results don't come from a single moment of greatness. They come from steady effort, repeated daily, over and over again. The decisions you make every day shape your future. The actions you take when no one is watching make the biggest difference. Success is born in the commitment to daily effort, the discipline to show up even when there is no immediate reward. Think about your own life. Where are you struggling with consistency? Maybe you started a new project, routine, or goal, and at first you were excited and motivated, but then life got in the way. Maybe you got tired, maybe progress slowed down, and that initial spark faded. That's the moment when the real change happens. That's when discipline steps in, because discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation, it's what separates those who reach their goals from those who don't. It's what makes you get up in the morning when you'd rather stay in bed. It's what keeps you going when things get tough, when obstacles appear, when you hit a wall. If you truly want to accomplish something meaningful and lasting, you can't depend on motivation alone. Motivation will fail you, but discipline, consistency, and the commitment to show up every day, no matter what, that will carry you through. That's what builds success, brick by brick. It's the daily efforts that most people ignore that lead to real achievement. It's the grind, the persistence, the belief that showing up is enough even when no one notices yet, even when the rewards aren't instant. That's how success is created. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not flashy. It's not something that gets instant praise or recognition, but it is what creates champions. It's what builds winners. It's what leaves behind legacies. It's the silent work, the unseen hours, the sacrifices only you know about. It's the daily choice to keep pushing forward even when you don't see the results immediately. That's where greatness is built. Ask yourself, are you relying on motivation to keep going? Are you waiting for inspiration to strike again? Or are you building the discipline that keeps you moving no matter what? Success isn't about one moment of brilliance. It's about showing up and doing the right things again and again, even when no one is there to applaud you. It's about commitment, discipline, and trusting that the effort you're putting in today will pay off in the future. It's easy to feel discouraged when results aren't instant. It's tempting to quit when things get difficult. But those who stay consistent, who keep pushing forward despite setbacks, are the ones who make it. They're the ones who build something lasting. Success isn't about occasional moments of greatness. It's about steady, disciplined effort over time. You have the power to shape your own future. You get to decide what kind of person you want to be and what kind of legacy you want to leave. But you can't do that by waiting for motivation. You need discipline, you need consistency, because in the end, success isn't about sudden bursts of effort. It's about the quiet, dedicated work you put in day after day, year after year. When you commit to staying consistent, no matter what, nothing can stop you. Mental strength isn't about being free from fear, doubt, or frustration. It's not about waking up every day feeling unstoppable. No, it's about how you handle those emotions when they show up. It's about how you react when fear tries to hold you back, when doubt whispers that you're not good enough, and when frustration tempts you to quit. Everyone experiences these feelings, even the strongest people. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is the ability to rise above those emotions and keep going. Mental strength is built in moments of struggle, when it feels too hard, when everything in you wants to give up. It all starts with taking responsibility. Too often, people blame their circumstances. They blame the economy, they blame others, they blame things they can't control. But mentally strong people don't waste energy pointing fingers. They don't make excuses. They take responsibility for their choices, their actions, and their results. They know that life isn't always fair, but what matters is how they respond to the challenges that come their way. When you take responsibility for your life, you take back your power. You stop waiting for someone to make things easier. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You take control of your own future. The choices you make today shape the life you will live tomorrow. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you push yourself beyond your limits. It happens when you step into the unknown, when you challenge yourself. If you want to grow, if you want to be mentally strong, you have to embrace discomfort. You have to face the hard things, the tough challenges, the moments that make you want to turn back. That's where true strength is built. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone. It's easy to do what's familiar. But real change happens when you step beyond it. Think about it. How many times have you grown by staying comfortable? Probably not often. But every time you push beyond what's easy, that's where transformation happens. Emotions are powerful. They can make you feel invincible one moment and defeated the next. We all experience anger, fear, and doubt. We all have times when we feel overwhelmed. But mental strength isn't about avoiding these emotions. It's about mastering them. Strong people don't let emotions control their actions. They don't let fear hold them back or anger push them into bad decisions. They feel those emotions, but they control their response. Think about Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison. If anyone had a reason to be bitter, it was him. But he chose not to let anger define him. He chose wisdom, calmness, and grace. He mastered his emotions, and because of that, he led a nation toward healing. Focus on what you can control. We all face situations beyond our control, and yes, it's frustrating. It's easy to get lost in what you can't change, what people think, what they say, the unfairness of life. But strong people understand that the only thing they can control is their response. They focus on their mindset, their actions, their effort. They don't waste energy on things beyond their influence. When you let go of what you can't control, you take back your power, you free yourself to focus on what truly matters. Success is built on consistency. It's not about occasional big efforts. It's about showing up every single day, doing what needs to be done even when no one is watching. It's about discipline, commitment, and persistence. These 5 habits: taking responsibility, embracing discomfort, mastering emotions, focusing on what you can control, and staying consistent will transform your life. But they require effort, sacrifice, and dedication. The choice is yours. Are you ready to build unshakable mental strength? Because it starts now. It starts with a decision to take control, show up, and keep going no matter what. The time is now. Make it count.